Alright guys, so what I have done is I've cut all the way up through the sternum. As you get towards the more rostral aspect of the sternum, it actually gets really thick and deep, so you might have to kind of veer off to the side. I also want to point out a little bit off to the side, a little bit kind of north of these ribs. You can see some really beautifully colored blue veins. So what I've actually just very carefully done is take the tip of my scissors, and sometimes there's a little bit of fascia in there that you can go in and just kind of start spreading open to try and expose some of those vessels. So I'm doing that on this side, and what I'm trying to do is just not cut some of those vessels. I just punctured through one on this side. It's really easy to do, so if you do it, don't worry about it. I just did it, so you know it happens. Okay. So you can see really nicely on this side. I've got my scissors and I'm going to kind of come under that vessel. We don't need to really do a lot of work out here, but it is worthy of noting kind of where those vessels are, and they're blue, so that indicates they're veins. They're coming back down in. So the next thing I want to do is come back to my sternum, and as you lift this sternum up, what you're going to see is a little bit of tissue on the inside of this. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to start kind of separating that tissue away from the inferior aspect, or kind of the posterior aspect, if you will, of that sternum. Okay, I'm just snipping ever so carefully. I'm also now going to lift up this skin from the abdomen, and I'm going to make an incision back this way. I am going to be cutting through some of the ribs to do this. That's okay. Okay. I'm going to do this on both sides. All of this is just so that I can start exposing some of these structures in both the abdominal cavity as well as the thoracic cavity. Now, I've cut through those ribs. This major structure that I'm looking at here is the liver. It's humonstrous. Now, as I pull this, I'm going to turn it this way so you can kind of see up underneath. What you can see very nicely from this view is the diaphragm. So I've cut through it on the sides, but you can see that my scissors are poking through here. And all I'm going to do now with the diaphragm is I'm going to take my scissors and cut along the rib line to basically detach that diaphragm from my ribs.